us big time. Knocked down 5 threes and was 4 of 5 from beyond the arc in the second half after somewhat of a slow start. So expect him to put up big numbers again. We'll see if he plays more minutes. He didn't play big minutes last night.
Starters the same as they were last night. Frankie Ferrari, Eli Pemberton, Quindary Weatherspoon, Jerome Robinson, Selim Awugbe for Santa Cruz, Ahmad Kaver, Santi Aldama, Reggie Hearn, Shaq Buchanan, and Ben Moore for Memphis. Pemberton out to Frankie, pulls the trigger, it's a little short. Off a screen, it's Shaq Buchanan who buries the three. His three-point percentage this year has suffered a little bit. Jason March saying, well, a lot of our guys have had to play a little too much. We've had games with 6 or 7 guys, and that's affected their shooting percentages, but you can see Buchanan has a nice shot. Ferrari, how about that? Yeah. Shooting on the first 2 possessions.
There are times where he passes up open shots, but sometimes it just plays itself out where you end up being wide open. And maybe that's for a reason Memphis maybe wanting to see, hey, how aggressive is he going to be early on?
Well, he had 13 points, 10 assists, no turnovers in the 120-117 win last night.
Hit a big 3 late.
That's going to be an and 1 for Ben Moore on the putback. Foul on Pemberton. And a good start here for the Hustle. We take a look at Seth Cooper, first-year head man of the Sea-Dubs. 10 up and 12 down in the regular season, 16 and 20 if you include the Showcase Cup. He's been with the organization for 3 years now, including his time with Golden State. Ben Moore sinking the freebie. It's a 6-0 start for the Grit and Grinders. Pemberton is open. Santa Cruz has had 3 good looks. Quindary knocking it away, but it goes right to Shaq Buchanan.
That was essentially a perfect pass. Well, we'll see if the fans here at KPA eventually are able to sit down.
Pemberton trying to put them in their seats right here. Draws contact.
Okay.
Again, Eli with this left hand.
He is right-handed, but without a doubt is more comfortable shooting in the paint with the left.
I asked Seth Cooper last night about a comparison to Damian Lee, if he sees a little Damian in him. And you definitely saw the comparison as Aldama has it blocked by Awugbe. Moore is there on the follow. But he said what he's trying to get Eli to do, what Damian does really well, is attacking on the catch, where he's kind of moving to the basketball like Damian does.
Damian really gets momentum behind himself because he's not lightning fast, but he is able to get where he wants to go because of his movement and getting to where he wants to go. Jerome Robinson right now is just playing on a different level.
Somebody give that guy an NBA contract.
Damian Lee also more of a shooter, a pure shooter than Pemberton.
True. Buchanan in and out. There's a rebound for Selim Awugbe. He had 4 blocks last night, 10 rebounds. Nice cut by Quindary Weatherspoon.
And a beautiful left-handed dish by Pemberton. Are we sure he's not left-handed?
Yeah. 64% rim finisher as there's Ahmad Kaver bucket in the bump. And Drew, this is a guy they need to corral a little better than they did last night. 28 points on 9 of 14.
It's hard to corral him, though. He's crafty, he's quick, plays with great charisma.
There's Jason March, 3rd-year head honcho of the Hustle, won his first 10 games as a G League head coach.
Best start, right?
Yeah, best start in G League history, eclipsing the 2013-14 RGV Vipers that started 9-0. Of course, the 18-19 Santa Cruz Warriors started 8-0 en route to the semis that year, actually, and also the RGV Vipers made it to the semis where they lost to Santa Cruz. That Santa Cruz team in 18-19 lost the semis to RGV. Quindary with Caver on him. 6 to operate as he speeds to the 10.
He's just so strong that he is able to keep shot blockers at bay because he just uses his body to just completely negate their ability to even time trying to block the shot.
Caver.
I mean, he just kind of leaned into Aldama, and Aldama just stayed on the ground.
Weatherspoon the steal. Feeds the cutting Jerome Robinson. Y uno para J-Rob.
Those two, Santa Cruz, I mean, name a better backcourt in the G League.
That's pretty good. A chance to cut this deficit to 1. Robinson has scored at least 18 in each of his last 9 games and 20 plus in 8 of those. And he's had back-to-back season highs and off to a good start here with 6. Buchanan.
There was the patented Ledoux screen.
Yeah. That was supposed to be a lob and it went off the backboard.
I couldn't try to scream like that right now.
Yeah. Mawugbe the offensive rebound. Here is the screamer himself, Ledoux, over Aldama. So much for that early lead for Memphis.
I don't even know if Ledoux was able to see the rim with the way Aldama was contesting.
He just hit a 3 and now wide open from the corner, arguably an easier shot. And we'll stay with the Sea-Dubs.
Oh yeah, that was definitely an easier 3. The one that he missed in the corner, it was catch and shoot from a shorter distance. The one over Aldama was off the dribble and very difficult.
Timeout on the floor taken by Seth Cooper. We will step aside as well. 7:05 to go first quarter. Santa Cruz leading Memphis 15-13 on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. We'll be back after this.
Test 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, everyone. Zena Keita on your sideline. As Kevin mentioned, tonight is the Celebrate Her game tonight. I've got a gray version of this t-shirt on, but the Warriors aren't just celebrating through t-shirts. They actually made the extra step to make a request for an all-female referee staff. So tonight, veteran G League referee Cheryl Flores is joined by Angel Kent and Shalisa Painter as well on the court. So we are celebrating all the way around. The Warriors will keep making their efforts against the Memphis Hustle, but tonight it's all about the women. Back to you.
Thank you, Zena. Zena mentioned it. Cheryl Flores has been in this league, I believe, as long as Santa Cruz has. Great to see her, and a high-level women's college basketball official as well. Let's see Angel Kent and Shalisa Painter here as Santi Aldama just sent back Sela Mawugbe. Reggie Hearn, corner 3 doesn't go, and that's tapped out by Robinson.
By Robinson, who hopefully is okay.
Slow to get up as Ledoux misses the corner 3. Mawube, a second offensive rebound.
I mean, that truly was sensational, the way he tipped it out across his body. And that was 100% by design. He knew that he had a teammate there.
Illegal screen set by Selim. That'll be his first personal foul. Another look at this Robinson tip out. That's putting your body on the line.
No doubt. Didn't get hit actually in the head based on the replay right there, but that was just great awareness.
Luckily, he's okay. Kendall Smith in there guarding Shaq Buchanan. Mentioned Ferrari's double-double with no assists. Well, Kendall Smith, a nice game as well. 11 assists, 2 turnovers to go along with his 8 points and the win over the Hustle. How about that from Aldama?
That was Nikola Jokic-esque.
Yes.
And he just did the goggles.
Man.
That was sweet.
Ooh, baby.
What a pass.
Ledoux to the hoop, lays it in, his second bucket. I mean, as a basketball fan, even if you're rooting for Santa Cruz, you're glad that Reggie Hearn 3 went in.
Oh, you got to applaud that pass.
Man, because Aldama, that's one of the best passes we've seen all year.
I mean, it's like he completely felt the double before it really was there.
Mawube, nice finish inside.
And went to the reverse, used the rim to shield off Aldama, who had just blocked him a minute ago.
Aldama, number 30 overall pick by Utah, traded to Memphis. He'll fire a 3, hit 5 of those last night, 4 in the second half. Figueroa, caught it on the sideline. Damian Jefferson and Freddie Gillespie in for the Hustle, replacing Santi Aldama and Reggie Hearn. Ben Moore will throw it in. Former Indiana Pacer. Throwing it to another former Indiana Pacer, and Ahmad Caver. Caver beats the cutting Moore.
Moore thought there was contact there.
Smith gets stripped. It will stay with Santa Cruz. Jason March not happy that a foul wasn't called. T.C. Swirsky, assistant coach for the Hustle, talking to him. Robinson. What a tap there by Jacob Evans through traffic. Try to get it to LJ Figueroa, just couldn't finish. Reverse layup, Buchanan.
He drilled the 3 on the first possession, and then there, the reverse looking like Scoot Henderson from earlier this week.
Your boy Scooty. Kendall Smith the 3. Good to see Kendall knock that down. 28% from beyond the arc. He had been in the low 30s, now high 20s. Buchanan's 3 off target there. Evans, kind of a couple of guys were kind of converging on the same spot. Backdoor, Robinson gets fouled.
There was congestion on that right side of the floor, and so Jacob Evans smartly dribbled to the other side of the floor to balance things out, and Robinson with the perfect cut.
Here's the thing about Jacob Evans. His numbers aren't going to wow you, but he just knows how to play basketball.
Oh, no doubt. That's why the Warriors drafted him in the first round several years back. Thought that he could just be the sort of Sean Livingston type. Didn't work out in Golden State, but Evans, no one will question his basketball IQ, that's for sure.
2-point free throw is good for Jerome Robinson, who has 8. Good to see Sean McDermott on the floor. This is his first game of the season for the Memphis Hustle. Played last year on a 2-way contract with the Grizzlies in the Hustle. In the G League bubbles, there's Freddie Gillespie inside, just too big. McDermott hadn't played since Summer League, where he injured his knee. Jason Marsh is really excited to get him back in the fold. And Jerome Robinson just juking the D out of its shoes.
Hesitation made it seem like he was going to spin, but he just paused and then decided to show off those big hands again by palming it with the dunk.
And then taps it to Evans. Play the passing lane perfectly. Jacob. Figueroa. Good hustle. Then Taylor to Evans for the layup. And Jason Marsh has to stop the action as Santa Cruz has opened up the game-high 8-point lead in the Sea Dogs' favor, 28-20, 2:49 to go in the first. We'll come back with the rest of the first quarter on the other side of this timeout on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. The Warriors are teaming up with Kaiser Permanente in the Athletes' Corner to turn points into meals with Swishes for Dishes. For each point the C-Dubs score this season, 10 meals will be donated to Second Harvest Food Bank of Santa Cruz County. So far this season, a total of 40,200 meals will be donated. Visit SantaCruzBasketball.com to learn more. There is Sean McDermott. Again, played in 18 games with the Memphis Grizzlies last year and was in the G League bubble as well for the Memphis Hustle. Was waived in October. He was injured at that point. And the former Butler Bulldog, 5 years in Indianapolis with a Pendleton, Indiana native, making his season debut. He's got it right now. Good player, can shoot it. Turns it over, and there's Kendall Smith on the run out.
Well, Santa Cruz not treating this game like they are okay with a split.
Oh, no.
They are off to a great start, and they want this sweep.
Quinary Weatherspoon just blew up that screen. That's an old message sender.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Gillespie, don't set a screen on me. You know what? He embellished it.
You think
Weatherspoon really didn't hit him that hard. He extended his right arm a little bit, but that was definitely not a high-speed crash.
You don't see, Gillespie's a well-built dude. You wouldn't expect
Oh, so
him to
you're
go.
saying that players at the professional level don't flop or embellish contact? Are you saying that, Kevin?
A good shot there for Sean McDermott to get on the board for the first time this year. Weatherspoon the rebound. Extra pass. Smith, great cut. Oh, and the wraparound feed. Not quite the angle that Kendall Smith wanted on it.
Taylor tapping himself on the chest saying, my bad, because he did kind of bail out from the spot where Smith thought the pass was going to go to.
Oh, you wouldn't know that Sean McDermott hasn't played since Summer League if we didn't tell you beforehand. He comes in and hits 2 threes. Quintary Weatherspoon.
Makes the difficult look easy.
Yeah. 8 points for Q. Comes Damian Jefferson, who's been really good since being waived by Stockton and picked up by the Hustle. Rebound, outlet, Figueroa, and Manny got that back and threw that thing down.
I don't even know if it's sneaky anymore. Figueroa is a leaper.
Oh, big time leaper. I mean, Buchanan looked like he might have been able to get there, and then Figueroa just took it to another level.
If he has momentum behind him, off of 1 foot, he can get up.
Kendall Smith sprinting off the court. Charles Matthews driving. How about Ryan Taylor getting his hands dirty? But 14 fouls on the C-Dubs. It's Buchanan. Oh, he traveled. Yeah. Cheryl Flores on the spot with that call.
It's so funny because he knew it was a travel. But then when the whistle was blown, he had a look on his face like, wait, what? But he knew right away that it was a travel.
All right, so get up a shot here in about 7 or 8 seconds.
Yep.
Tira dos para uno. Figueroa floats it up. Doesn't get it, and they will get about a 5-second 2-for-1. Gillespie was begging for it as he had Ryan Taylor on him. Charles Matthews will work himself to the line. It's on Ryan Taylor. Matthews again tore his ACL in a pre-draft workout 3 years ago with the Boston Celtics. Had to miss the entire 1920 season. Played the bubble with the Canton Charge. Started this year with the Cleveland Charge and then got picked up by Memphis a little more than a week ago. Doesn't hit the free throw. 3 seconds left. Here's the cutting Quindary who reverses it in. Shaq Buchanan off the backboard.
Good effort.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate him putting that shot up, but a great finish to this first. And how about LJ Figueroa with the hammer in transition to put Santa Cruz up 10 after 1. Start the second on the bench.
Well, he should be playing angry because his Oregon Ducks. Ooh, rough trip to the Washington school. Got swept this week.
Bye-bye NCAA at-large bid.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have to win the Pac-12 tournament or at least get to the championship game.
How about Mwugbe with the block there of Freddie Gillespie? Jerome Robinson trying to trudge through traffic. We'll stay with the C-Dubs. E.J. Onu and Reggie Hearn checking in. This is the first we'll see of E.J. Onu. 5 blocks last night for number 24 in white. The second leading shot blocker in the G. Jerome Robinson fouled on the 3. Damian Jefferson saying, how can you call that on me, Cheryl Flores?
Well, because it was a foul. That's how.
And Cheryl pointed to her foot, so I think it was a landing space issue.
It's so hard for defenders.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to cover more ground than you've ever had to. And now you have to be very careful, and that's a big miss.
Big miss. 3 points left out there. I mean, it used to be like fouling a three-point shooter was like a cardinal sin. I mean, obviously you don't want to foul a three-point shooter, but it just happens so much more now.
There's more threes.
Yep.
You want to contest.
Different rules. 3 to shoot for Damian Jefferson.
Ooh.
That looked good the moment he put it up.
Jefferson had some big buckets in the fourth quarter last night.
Yes, he did. Had a double-double off the bench with 14 and 10. His father Everett played at New Mexico. Led the team with assists and steals. Damian himself played at Creighton as Santa Cruz turns it over. After playing 1 year in New Mexico, then transferred to Creighton for his final 3. Caver, float game, on point. 5 for Caver. A 5-0 start to the second for the Hustle. Mawugbe catching and finishing second side.
That was not a simple catch and dunk. He really had to showcase his feel and skill on that one.
Lead up to 7. Selim's second bucket of the contest. A lob for Onu, disrupted by Mawugbe. Then Onu stepped out of bounds. Well, that's not going to go as anything in the stat sheet for Selim Mawugbe, but he absolutely forced the turnover. And if he can develop on the offensive end of the floor, he's got a chance. Stepping back. Robinson can't get it.
I mean, it was a nice move, and he created all the space he needed, just left it short.
Matthews with the left hand. Nice finish. A guy who struggled at the rim this year, 7 of 23 coming into tonight. Great pass by Ferrari and an even niftier finish by Ledoux.
Ooh, Onu is really grabbing at his knee or his hamstring.
Hey, he can't run. That's not a good sign. And Jason March has to use a timeout. I hate to see it for a guy who's been playing so well since getting the gig with the Memphis Hustle started this year with the Texas Legends. You're going to see it right here. He'll go down, and hopefully he's okay. We'll take the timeout on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. I'm sorry, what's that? The Sea-Dubs are heading to the Bay on Sunday, March 13th as they take on G League Ignite at Chase Center. The first 10,000 fans will walk away with a Stephen Curry birthday edition bobblehead presented by Adobe. Tip-off is scheduled for 3 p.m. Tickets still available at SantaCruzBasketball.com. Be awesome to finally get a game in Chase. Santa Cruz was supposed to do it 2 years ago on Stephen Curry's actual birthday, March 14th, 2020. But we all remember what happened.
The world changed forever.
Yeah. And on that note, I know what you're thinking. Drew does not have COVID.
That is correct.
He tested.
I tested. And again, I actually feel way better than I did 24 hours ago, but for some reason, the voice just doesn't really exist.
Caver tried to track down his own miss. Ledoux to the hoop, gets fouled. He'll shoot a 2-point free throw. So Ledoux to the line. He is, we should remind you, eligible for the 2022 NBA draft. So this is his draft class. He is using this year. He can't be called up. He is using this year to get ready for the NBA draft, Caleb Ledoux. So it's actually the same deal with Isaiah Ross, who was in the Showcase Cup with Santa Cruz before he got waived. Into the corner. Jefferson nearly had that ripped away by Ferrari. That's going to be a foul, and Seth Cooper is saying that should be a travel.
Seth Cooper demonstrating in front of us what he felt Jefferson did. It was like a pogo stick.
Yeah, but he didn't have control of the ball. He bobbled it. Jefferson at the line, where he's a 62% foul shooter, was in training camp with the Sacramento Kings, played on their summer league team, and was started the year with the Stockton Kings before getting waived at the end of January. 5 points for Damian Jefferson. 7-point Santa Cruz lead. Jefferson the deflection. 8 to work with. McDermott will get back in there. Replacing Charles Matthews. McDermott came in, hit a couple of threes. After turning it over. They didn't get the shot off in time. Forgot they only had 8 to work with.
Both Ferrari and Weatherspoon put their finger in the air as if to acknowledge, my bad.
Well, Santa Cruz had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Memphis had, or at least by the at the 9:28 mark of the second, they had 3 in the first. Memphis had 7 turnovers right now. Jefferson, pass to the cutting Ben Moore, who was fouled.
That was a good catch.
Yeah.
It was a tough pass. It was kind of a bullet.
It's the second on Salam Awugbe. So the goal would be to get Selim to halftime with 2 fouls.
Last night he picked up that third in the closing seconds of the first half. And then got into foul trouble pretty quickly in the second half.
Early illegal
then
screen.
Was able to play with 5 fouls for a while.
Eventually did foul out. Hearn slipped, it looked like. Ferrari. That'll be a turnover, not quite a pinpoint pass there as Evans will check in. Now, we mentioned it. Evans at the 5 right now, guarding Ben Moore. They had like a 27-minute stretch earlier this year where Evans was a +21 at the 5. Credit GSW Reddit with that status. Man, that was a car crash down low. McDermott committing the crime. And Doug Smith providing the up-close angle.
Early on this season, Ledoux was really primarily a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And that is definitely not the case anymore.
Nope.
He is able to get to the rack, and he can finish over the shot blockers a lot with that left hand. He's good at it.
It's the 2-point free throw there. So Santa Cruz leads by 7. He's a 77% foul shooter, averaging just shy of 13 a game in the regular season. He's already got 11 tonight. Nice move by Caver. Jefferson open. Smith trying to sneak that one through. This is something interesting. I haven't heard an official say this before. Cheryl Flores, there's 7:01 on the clock. Says, reminder, No timeout because we had that at the 9-minute mark.
Yeah,
I like that.
Memphis had to call timeout when Onu seemed to hurt that knee or the leg.
Elbow Jimmy straight through for Ledoux.
I like it too, though. It shows you that she's locked in, remembers how the quarter is unfolding.
Shaver's going to walk this up. He'll drive on Evans, doesn't get it. Aldama's second attempt, no, and Evans the rebound. Jacob head up. There's Quindary, just lost it there. Hearn to the hole, hits the two. Ledoux short on the three. There's Shaq Buchanan getting to the line. It's the second on Figueroa. See this move. Shaq Buchanan very explosive. Can really get up as well. I think everyone who's a fan of the Memphis hustle really happy to see Buchanan get that hardship 10-day right around Christmas. But the Memphis Grizzlies and appear in 2 games. Get a bucket as well.
Can forever say he scored in an NBA game.
5-point game. Figueroa from the corner. So Santa Cruz is led by as many as 10. Memphis. Kendall Smith. Johnny on the spot.
Gave the fan sitting courtside a high five that he ran into. The fan has a great mustache.
A reminder of the time Montrezl Harrell kind of crashed into fans over there and just kind of sat with them for a few seconds when he was on assignment here like 6 years ago with the RGV Vipers. McDermott finally missing a three. Ledoux up and just a little strong. Caver right back at you. Two teams play at pretty much the same pace all the season. They're 10th and 11th in the league in that department, both just a little over 103 possessions per 40. What a move, Kendall Smith. So Smith has 7. That's the lead for Santa Cruz. Oh, nice touch pass to Reggie Hearn.
Yep, had not established a position.
Timeout, Seth Cooper. We'll step aside as well. Santa Cruz 48, Memphis 41. Nice drive by Kendall Smith, finishing over the Memphis Grizzly big. The 2021-22 Santa Cruz Warriors season is presented by Kaiser Permanente, proud partner of your C-Dubs. Santa Cruz up 48-41 here at the KPA. At the half, we will be joined by Aaron Dangerfield, Golden State Warriors Senior VP of People Operations, to talk about Celebrate Her and Women's Empowerment Month. This is the Celebrate Her game. We'll also have a look at the first half highlights. Look at some updated standings coming into today. And much, much more. Memphis was ready for that backdoor.
Nice job by Jerome Robinson to blow up that possible layup in transition after turning it over.
Robinson's been stuck on 10. Mawugbe, Smith, Weatherspoon, Robinson, and Evans, the 5 for the C-Dubs. Aldama, McDermott, Hearn, Caver, and Buchanan for the hustle. Hearn, a catch and shoot 3, and he knocks it down.
Tough. Quindary Weatherspoon was all over that on the closeout.
Hearn, a very good three-point shooter, despite what his percentage this year says. It's at 27. Smith collecting. Robinson is open.
Weatherspoon thought he had an offensive rebound, and Aldama said, nope, I'm way taller.
And just snatched it before they could get to Quindary. So a chance to cut to one for Shaq Buchanan, halfway down and out.
Aldama has not scored yet.
Wow, yeah.
That is shocking. He hasn't even really looked to score. He's missed a couple shots, and that's it.
Evans off the glass. Jacob with his second bucket. Aldama, he's looking to score here.
It's like he heard me or something.
Oh, hopefully everyone okay.
Who's that going against?
It's going on against
I think it's
Memphis.
on Jacob Evans.
Wait, it is? Oh. Yeah, it is against. Yeah, you had it right.
This free throws the other way.
That's the 5th team foul on Santa Cruz. That's a tough one. Evans fell down, and Hearn trips over him and picks up the foul. Hearn, a 2-point free throw goes in. And he's kind of working out his left wrist there, Jacob Evans. He was coming off the floor. Kendall Smith driving, reversing it up and in. That's the second time he's finished on Santi Aldama. That gets him to 7 points. I misspoke earlier. Won't be the first time. No, it wasn't the first time, won't be the last time. Buchanan wide open.
You had a tone of, he's so open, there's no way this is not going in.
And so the lead is down to 3. Buchanan is 12. Kendall Smith has hit 1 3. He's hit 2. Kendall in double figures now.
Yeah, his 2 threes have been tough off the dribble.
Yeah.
And he's really been looking to score.
Ahmad Caver. Moore saving it into Hearn.
That was a fantastic save. And that is Mawugbe's 3rd, so he will be going to the bench.
He's played so well. 4 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal. Reggie Hearn will go to the line. Shout out to Reggie's wife, Gianna Hearn, who does some really good G League reporting. Hosts the weekly G. He's actually a former Reno Bighorns sideline reporter as well. The two met in Reno. I believe they went to the same church, and that's how they met. Hearn was a great Bighorn. Got called up from Reno to the Detroit Pistons in that year, 2018. Helping out Team USA with the qualifiers. And was the USA Male Basketball Athlete of the Year. Robinson, no. And there's Taylor with the offensive rebound. That's an illegal screen. Hearn slow to get up.
Taylor shoveled the pass off and then leaned in with his left shoulder a little bit. Reggie Hearn made it seem like it was a big hit from a safety against a tight end across the middle. Had no idea it was coming.
Like Ronnie Lott was on the floor. Caver. That's a reach in on Weatherspoon. And more two-point free throw attempts here for Memphis, or one more. Memphis has kind of been living at the lines, got them right there. Chance to cut this to 2.
Yeah, Quindary reached in there with that left arm.
Yeah.
Hand check.
No doubt about that one. Caver. Cuts it to 2, the Old Dominion product. Robinson. Short.
Took a dribble, I think, just to kind of get himself comfortable, because he didn't like where he was at on the catch, but seemingly made the shot more difficult.
45 seconds to go in the half. Nice spin move. Matthews missing. Aldama cleaning it up, and we are tied up. Very strong finish to the first half for Memphis. Quindary on the take. That doesn't go. Santa Cruz scored just 19 points in the second quarter. Caver holding. Santa Cruz will get the last shot. Smith tipping it out, but just 2 to shoot here for the Hustle, so they gotta get one up pretty quickly. Yeah. Jacob Evans is gonna come in.
This is a sub that shows you how important every possession is.
You want Jacob's defense out on the floor. He's gonna guard Aldama. Buchanan looking for Caver. Tough shot contested very well by Quindary. 3 seconds left. Into the corner, Ledoux. Oh, a little strong. And so a tough finish to the first half for Santa Cruz. We're all square at 55. Before we get Aaron Dangerfield over here, Golden State Senior VP of People Operations, we will have a little chat. Even in turnovers, Memphis hitting 3 more threes. And Santa Cruz with a big field goal percentage edge, 49% for the field and 39% for Memphis. Santa Cruz just 27% from downtown, and Memphis 35% from beyond the arc. So as we get ready for the second half, Drew, you know what I'm going to ask you. What do you want to see here from the C-Dubs?
Take better care of the basketball. That's the most important thing. And usually it is for the Warriors when they limit the turnovers and they give their defense a chance to set up in the half court. They are in a much better position, and sometimes it gets away from them, and it kind of did there in the second quarter. So take care of the ball, and I think the C-Dubs will be in a good spot.
Well, here we go. Reggie Hearn will bring it up. Buchanan trying to lob that to Aldama. Santa Cruz all over it. Good ball movement. Pemberton on a shot fake. Robson didn't score in the second quarter. Didn't quite get it. Aldama.
How about your boy Reggie Hearn falling back?
Oh, yeah.
As if he had gotten crushed.
Reggie Hearn doesn't embellish.
Oh!
Oh, man. That did not sound good.
No, it did not. And fortunately, Mawugbe is going to get up. But that is his fourth. He left his feet. Let's see here. Yeah, he kind of landed awkwardly.
So that's the second straight game where he's picked up his fourth foul early in the third quarter. And I don't see anyone hurrying off the bench. Looks like they're going to let Selim play. I think Santa Cruz is trying to make the argument that that foul should go on someone else. But it is on Selim Mawugbe. They'll keep him out there with the 4 fouls. Caver rattles in the free throw, and Memphis has its first lead since the first quarter. Ferrari, his pass is kicked. Be a side out of bounds. Initially thought on the baseline.
Ooh, Santa Cruz lucky that wasn't a turnover right there. Robinson was trying to pass that ball to Mawugbe on the roll.
Then Pemberton gets bailed out. It's on Reggie Hearn, his first. Pemberton gives Santa Cruz the lead.
C-Dubs needed that one.
They really did, because they had gone a while to end the second quarter without scoring. Buchanan to the cutting Moore. Aldama just threw it away. Santi Aldama just 2 points in that first half. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block.
Just did not seem very aggressive.
Yeah. Well, as there's Quindary on the runner, he's probably not used to playing back-to-back so much. You know, didn't play a whole lot with the Memphis Grizzlies recently. So
nice pass.
That was beautiful.
He had that awesome assist in the first half of the quarter 3, and that was another beautiful pass that could have been an assist.
How about that palmed rebound by Jerome Robinson? Step back's an air ball, but Selim keeps it alive. But couldn't save it to a teammate. Aldama straight on and short.
Just doesn't quite have it offensively tonight.
He was pretty silent to start last night. There's a nice lob by Ferrari to Mawugbe, but Aldama really got it going in the second half. Already the 18th assist for Santa Cruz. They averaged just under 28 a game. That's second in the G. That's rattled down by Ahmad Caver. He had 37 assists last night, one off the season high. Robinson has a look.
He's been short on a lot of his misses tonight. You wonder if it's the legs on a back-to-back.
10 points in the first quarter. Hasn't scored since. Buchanan knew that Mwugbe really couldn't contest and drills the three because Selim's got those 4 fouls. So 15 for Shaq. Quindary Weatherspoon to the hole.
He was worried about Aldama blocking his shot.
Santi short again. Quindary, oh, nice move.
Charge.
Yep. Third personal on cue, and LJ Figueroa gonna check in. So Quindary Weatherspoon will go to the bench with 8 points and 3 fouls. They're going to play LJ and Selim at the same time here. This is as big as it gets for Santa Cruz. Aldama with the left. Off the hands of Mwugbe. Knocked away. Nice screen set there by Mwugbe. Good ball movement. Robinson is open, and Robinson is short again.
Even on the catch and shoot, when he was able to get his legs underneath him, he was short.
Feel like eventually those shots will fall. Shaq Buchanan, he's had 3 shots go halfway down and out in addition to the 3 threes he's made. He's really been on target tonight. Mwugbe blocked from behind by Aldama, and then Selim just kind of forces it through the rim and gets fouled.
Nice touch on that turnaround hook. No idea how it went in.
Not even sure he was looking at the hoop when he started to go up in his motion. Mwugbe making 8 points, excuse me. For a guy who averages just a little over 5 a game at 5.2 with 6.2 rebounds and 2 blocks. Having himself another productive ball game, and he hits the free throw, a 63% foul shooter. Santa Cruz takes the lead again. Just about 5 minutes here in the third. Moore. Nice rack attack. Robinson, a dribbling display, and that went off his leg, it looked like. And that'll take us to the under 7. 6:52 to go in the third. 64-63, Memphis with the 1-point lead. We'll take the timeout. You're watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. for our Seascape Beach Resort assist of the game, and it is this nice feed to the cutting Caleb Ledoux. Frankie Ferrari dropping dimes. Again, our Seascape Beach Resort assist of the game. Caleb Ledoux, 13 points in the first half. And he's checking in right here. Sea-Dubs could use another nice scoring half from Ledoux. Mavericks having a grand old time here at the KPA. This pass by Sea-Dub superfan Sean Sappin. Been coming to games, I think, since day one. Off the screen, Ferrari, great play out of the timeout. And Frankie Ferrari with his first bucket to go along with 5 assists. Buchanan lays it in. 17 for Shaq. Ledoux is open, just a little strong.
That's good action, though. The cut by Figueroa caused the confusion with the hustle and the breakdown defensively. You'll take that wide open 3 all day.
Buchanan, with the 2. He's got 19. Memphis leads by 2. Nice no-look pass out to the open LJ, short on the 3. Lupe doing well to stay at 4 fouls. Caver has a look. Oh, out of a lazy pass there. And Sean McDermott has that pinned by Jerome Robinson.
Incredible effort. Even when he's kind of struggling with his shot, he's finding a way to make an impact. He could have just coasted and not really given it all right there, but wow, what a block.
Saves a bucket. And that's 5 seconds. Hustle couldn't get it in time. So that was a huge block from Jerome Robinson. Turns into a turnover. Jason March can't be happy. Now that transpired. They have an off day tomorrow. They're going to spend it in Santa Cruz, he was telling Zena, Kata, and myself. He's already picked out the restaurant they're going to eat as a team tomorrow for dinner. Right there on the wharf, I believe. I forget which restaurant it is. Ideal. Thank you, Zena. Five to shoot. Robinson trying to get free, flips it up, and that's the goaltend.
No doubt about it.
So he gets the block, forces a turnover, gets a bucket. And maybe getting that goaltend can get him going again.
That's what I was about to say. He's been struggling, but you just gave him a bucket and possibly a little jolt of confidence.
68 up. Oh, Robinson, a steal. LJ wants it, but Ledoux's gonna fly to the hole, and he gets it to roll around the rim and drop in.
Thought maybe he left his foot on the jump a little early, but was able to make it.
70-68 Santa Cruz timeout. Memphis will come back after this timeout with our Zena Kata sideline hit as Santa Cruz leads by 2 at Kaiser Permanente Arena.
Just a quick injury update for you all. I had a chance to talk to Jacob Evans as he came back onto the court, asking him was it his wrist that was bothering him. He actually suffered some nerve damage a few years ago, and it sometimes flares up. So he hit his hand, and that's what was going on. But he said he's fine, good to go for the game. On the Hustle side, E.J. Onu came out from second half and was doing a few warm-up drills with his trainer, trying to see if he could cut to the side. It wasn't looking good, so we probably won't expect him back in the game. Expect Fred Gillespie to hold down the fort inside the paint. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Zena. Good info there. And one for Sean McDermott, who almost fell into Zena Keita. And he'll have a chance to put the Hustle back in front. Chance for McDermott to give them the lead. So Sean McDermott had a staph infection before his junior year of high school. It was so invasive, he was rushed to the hospital. That free throw, not close. There were questions whether he would play again. Good to see him not only play college at Butler, but make it to the NBA. Robinson is fouled. He will go to the line for a two-point free throw. That's on McDermott. Robinson is 2 of 3 from the line, but the one free throw he missed
could have been worth 3 points.
Yep. This one is worth 2 points, and it goes in. Jerome Robinson has been a really good free throw shooter this year, 87%. Quindary, 87%. He's actually 10th in the G League in free throw percentage. He's about to check back in. Santa Cruz by 2. Gillespie inside, had that ripped away, but Buchanan gets it back and reverses it in.
He's had a couple of those tonight.
Buchanan. .21 for him now. Really athletic player, love watching him. Robinson behind the line, no, and
that was the perfect miss for Evans to be able to put it back.
And he gets it back, and Ledoux off the bounce, airmails it. Quindary Weatherspoon back in. Picked up his 3rd foul early in the 3rd quarter, replaces Jerome Robinson, who's got 14. Ledoux's 15 leads the way for the C-Dubs. Buchanan's 21, pacing the Hustle. McDermott off the screen. Figueroa with at least 6 rebounds now. He's going to speed on McDermott. Good hustle here from the C-Dubs. And Smith almost came back down with it. Evans got to go. A good drive. Now that didn't hit rim, so that's a shot clock violation. Reggie Hearn back in. Sean McDermott to the bench with 8 points. Hearn has 12, basically his season average. A game that Santa Cruz desperately needs. If they win this one, they're only a half game out of the final playoff spot. As far as records coming into today are concerned, is Freddie Gillespie couldn't save that. Caleb Gillespie slips. Weatherspoon. Two fly out at him. Smith gets it back. Somehow, it's going to be Memphis basketball. Judging by the way Damian Jefferson hustled for that, you'd think it'd be off Memphis. Obviously, Angel Kent has a much better look at that one than we do. Buchanan gets the screen. They want to post up Gillespie. Pass a little too high. Been stuck on 72 for a while. The do rejected by Freddie G.
Both sides are really locking in defensively to close this quarter.
Yeah, only 17 points for both teams in the third. After some defensive slippage for Santa Cruz in the second quarter. Smith will fire a corner three and airmails that one. So two airballed threes this quarter for Santa Cruz. Jefferson will spot up and knock down the midi. Weatherspoon lost it. Memphis, chance to pad the cushion a little bit.
Definitely a foul.
And one for Buchanan, who lets out a howl. He's having himself a ball game tonight.
He's been the best player in the gym, no doubt about it.
.23 for Shaq Buchanan. It's Evans' third. Buchanan, the former college teammate of Ja Morant at Murray State. Started off his collegiate career at Northeast Mississippi Community College. Has given Memphis a 5-point lead. Evans, nice shot fake. Driving hard to the hole, but that's an offensive foul. That'll be the fourth. Fans don't like it. I mean, yeah.
He pushed.
He deliberately, I mean, he's trying to create space from the shot blocker. He lowers
in
his
real
shoulder.
time. Yeah.
And no qualms with that call. Matthews, contested three, way off. Well, set up perfectly here for the 2-for-1. Jason March was not abused with that air ball three.
The body language said it all.
Yeah. Gillespie again, another big block. Jason March saying one shot and didn't have enough time to get the 2-for-1. Fans chanting defense here at the KPA. Matthews a corner three, they left him. Couldn't make him pay. Plenty of time here for Santa Cruz. Kendall Smith. Weaving through traffic. No, the follow not quite. Second attempt, no, and Santa Cruz
just stuck on 72.
They scored 36 points in the first quarter. They have scored 36 points in the second and third quarters combined. And they find themselves down by 5 heading into the fourth. Try as they might there, couldn't put it in to end the quarter. Don't bother that kid. I know there's a basketball game going on, but he's got to take a nap.
Love it.
The Warriors are teaming up with Kaiser Permanente, and the athletes score and turn points into meals with switches for dishes for each point. C-Dub score this year, 10 meals donated to Second Harvest Food Bank of Santa Cruz County. Visit santacruzbasketball.com to learn more. Fourth quarter time, and Santa Cruz needs to up the offensive output. Down to 39% from the field. Taylor, a corner three specialist, doesn't hit that. Pemberton doing a nice job to shield his defender away from that. Well, Taylor's not going to miss that twice in a row.
Had to have it.
Big shot to start the fourth. He's already contributed a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists to the Steelers, his first bucket. Reggie Hearn. Ferrari with some great defense there. Caver, late clock. And the fourth foul on Quindary Weatherspoon.
Weatherspoon only has 8 points, 4 of 10. Also has turned it over 3 times, so has not had his best game here tonight, but still has the fourth quarter to make up for it.
Jefferson, Hearn to the hoop. He's fouled, and that is the 5th on Selim Mawugbe. Picked up a 4th early in the 3rd, not even a minute gone by, and picks up his 5th before a minute has elapsed in the 4th. Did well to play the rest of the period without picking up another foul, but he's going to have to go to the bench now. And it's a shame because Mawugbe has 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. It's been good again. Hearn, in case you're curious, an 81% foul shooter this year and an 80% foul shooter over the course of his 9-year G League career. Ferrari, bounce pass to LJ Figueroa. Those two again, Drew.
Leave it to them to get Santa Cruz a bucket.
Frankie Ferrari, in his post-game media availability yesterday, telling the media that gathered that he really likes playing with LJ Figueroa, just a smart cutter. And they developed the chemistry early in this season as he completes the three-point play.
It was immediate.
Instantaneous.
It really was.
Jefferson reversing it up and in. Nice finish. Damian Jefferson with 9. Ferrari wants to play that two-man game again. LJ's open. Tie ball game. And he just shoots better from deep when Frankie passes it to him.
And Ferrari looked at Figueroa and just spun his finger as if to say, we're going right back to it next time down the floor.
Shot doesn't go, but Caver snatches his own rebound, plays it in, and a foul, a hard luck foul. Frankie Ferrari's just in the wrong spot. That is the 3rd team foul on Santa Cruz already.
And yeah, he took a shot to the right side of his face, and he's walking this one off.
I guess that's a foul on Frankie Ferrari. And that also hurt him on Caver. He's working out his wrist.
And he hit Ferrari.
Yeah. So a chance to give Memphis a 3-point lead. That was strong the whole way. Oh, big rebound there for Frankie. And then he's fouled. This quarter has been called pretty tightly here. 5 fouls combined in the first buck 52. Could have a lot of free throws down the stretch. They're gonna run it again, Drew? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, yes, they are.
Maybe. Oh, yes. Oh, yes! With the left!
It's 3 straight possessions with buckets. You better believe that they're going to try to make it a 4th.
Jefferson catch and shoot. Oh, wow, nice shot. 12 for Damian. Here we go. This time Frankie's going to shoot the 3.
Just came up short, straight on, but kind of rushed it.
8 assists for Ferrari now. Averages 6.9, which is 7th in the G. Charles Matthews on the take. Blocked by Figueroa and then Taylor. Timeout, Jason March. We'll take the timeout as well. 9:15 to go in the 4th. Memphis leading by 3, but Santa Cruz trying to stiffen up defensively, and then offensively, it's Ferrari to Figueroa over and over and over again. The Warriors are teaming up with Chase to celebrate Women's Empowerment Month. Join the Sea-Doves for a special movie screening of A League of Their Own on Wednesday, March 9th at 6 p.m. Visit SantaCruzBasketball.com para aprender más. Jack Buchanan will throw it in, who's hustle up 3. Jefferson, another strong start to a 4th quarter period. He'll elevate and connect from the elbow. Damian Jefferson up to 14 again. 7 this quarter. Robinson in the mid-range, no.
Just hasn't had it. He's now 4 of 14.
All the way inside, Matthews with the bank. Largest lead for Memphis is 8. Taylor, left wing 3 is good. 2 big 4th quarter threes from Ryan Taylor. Sea-Doves need to start locking up on this end of the floor.
Gillespie's just always on the ground.
Yeah. Matthews, no. Another offensive rebound for Memphis. Oh, Figueroa staying straight up. They get the stop eventually. Pemberton, sweeping hook. Gillespie altering another shot. He's got a couple of blocks. Shaq Buchanan, the star of the show thus far, but not there.
It's well said.
Frankie to LJ. Frankie scoop to the hoop, and it rolls home. Ferrari with 5. Two-point game. The fans chanting defense. Charles Matthews open and strong. Ferrari. Pemberton. Too strong. Couldn't give Santa Cruz the lead. Jefferson's had the hot hand, and it continues.
He did this last night as well in the fourth quarter.
16 for Jefferson, who's averaging 16 per game in a Hustle uniform through his first 7 games now. Pemberton fouled. See if they call that on the floor.
It is on the floor.
Q, Mawugbe, Smith all in. Figueroa, Pemberton to the bench.
So let's see how Mawugbe can play with the 5 fouls.
Fouled out in the final minute last night, or thereabouts. Smith. 5 to shoot. Robinson, they're not going to get a shot off.
That's multiple shot clock violations tonight.
Caleb Ledoux. Gonna check in next dead ball. As will Santi Aldama. Jefferson. He's asking for it. Jerome Robinson putting his hand directly across his eyes. Buchanan, a step back 3. 27 now for Buchanan.
It was not just the John Morant show in college.
No, that was a good team. Nice layup there for Quindary Weatherspoon. The team also had Darnell Coward, who's on the Memphis Hustle. Buchanan gets free. Mawugbe the rebound. Weatherspoon blocked by Freddie Gillespie. His 3rd rejection.
And at least the 2nd against Weatherspoon at the rim.
Illegal screen on Gillespie. Ledoux gonna come in now. Replaces Ryan Taylor. Big minutes from Ryan Taylor in the 4th.
Hit that big corner 3.
Hit also a nice left wing 3. Kendall Smith. That goes out to Robinson. Jerome Robinson, a big triple. He's got 17. It's back to 2. Santa Cruz needs a stop here, though. Almost stolen by Smith. Buchanan flipping it up and out. Chance to tire, go in front. Robinson, lost it. And Santa Cruz calling timeout with 4:05 to go.
Seth Cooper was all over it. The moment he saw Jerome Robinson dive to the ground, he was screaming for the timeout.
And you had a timeout, kind of a use it or lose it. They'll take it with 4:05 to go in the 4th. We'll take a break. Santa Cruz looking to tie or take the lead when we return to action.
Attention season ticket holders, we are excited to announce the renewal season is here. Our ticket reps are on
It's time for our advanced IPM defensive play of the game. And it is this, a poke away. Figueroa forcing the turnover, and Evans getting the layup. Again, our advanced IPM defensive play of the game.
Gonna need a couple more big defensive stops down the stretch here to pull off the sweep.
Kendall Smith will throw it in. He's got 12.7 rebounds, 5 assists, just 2 TOs. They feed the cutting Q. Now Smith on the spin. 5 to shoot. Has to put one up, and it's blocked by Buchanan. Just, Santa Cruz never quite in sync there. Both teams with 1 foul to give and 3 timeouts remaining. Caver inside for Aldama, and 1.
And that's a foul that if you're Quindary Weatherspoon, you better just grab Aldama or let him make the layup.
Yep.
The touch foul, you can't have that at this juncture of the game especially.
Just the 2nd bucket of the game for Santi Aldama.
Yeah, you hit him on the head.
And that's the 5th on Quindary. So Weatherspoon with 5 and Mawugbe with 5. That's way, oh, I thought that was going to be way short.
Yeah, last night it was the same thing with those high arching free throws.
We'll keep it here, and Santa Cruz had 1 more timeout to use before getting into the final 3 minutes. So they'll take it. Tito's down 5. What do you think the message is here as he's drawing something up?
He just wants to make sure that they get into a specific set. And probably you go to, I guess, Jerome Robinson because he had just made the 3, but, you know, neither him or Quindary have really had it going for stretches of the game. So you're trying to figure out what's your best option.
Weatherspoon just 10 points tonight after going for 22 and 9 rebounds last night. It's Mawugbe, Robinson, Ledoux, Smith, and Weatherspoon. Robinson inside from Mawugbe.
It's a great catch.
It is.
Could have been a turnover.
Weatherspoon.
It's good defense by Jefferson.
But better offense by Quindary.
Memphis also had a timeout to use before they'd lose it.
So we keep it here. Your thoughts on the use it or lose it timeout, and whether you should be able to hold more than 2 timeouts going into the final 3 minutes? Do you have any opinion on it?
Not really. Haven't given it a ton of thought, but I don't know. It seems somewhat silly if you're going to give a team that many timeouts at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Should be able to use them when you want to use them.
I hear you. And then you avoid kind of situations like this where you have timeout after timeout. We like flow here.
Well, if you like flow, then you shouldn't really allow the timeouts at the end of games to advance the ball. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can make an argument for both sides.
Touche. Back to basketball with Caver. Aldama with 5. Taking it inside and missing. Oh, and Jefferson the rebound. Another O board. At least the 12th for the hustle. Aldama face-up game. Silky smooth.
And he's yelling, too easy as he goes down the court.
Loyola Maryland product. Santa Cruz. Ledoux gets fouled.
In the act?
Yeah, that's my question.
Nope. On the side.
That is the last foul to give for Memphis, and both teams are in the bonus going forward. And might have thought with the way he threw his hands up that they could have counted continuation. A near turnover, but Mawugbe just bats it back to Robinson. 7 to shoot. Smith speeding inside. Wraparound feed for Mawugbe, who gets fouled. 2:11 to go. Good setup here.
And now this becomes a large free throw.
Yeah. Mawugbe has hit his only free throw attempt. He came in today 63% from the foul line. Santa Cruz needs it. And they get it.
Look good.
Double-double for Selo Mawugbe. 11 and 11. Now can Santa Cruz get a stop? Jefferson driving. Buchanan for 3. Mawugbe the rebound. He's matched a career high with 12 boards. A chance to tie or cut to 1. Robinson driving inside and gets the whistle on Hearn.
Take advantage of Aldama being on you. You got to be able to exploit that matchup. And Robinson knew it right away, didn't settle for the shot, got all the way to the basket.
2 free throws here for Jerome, who is stuck with it tonight after kind of a cold second and third quarter.
Yeah, he's had to grind it out.
It's the first free throw. That cuts it to 2. They've trailed the entire fourth quarter for the most part. And it is a 1-point game. 199. 90 seconds to go. Santa Cruz hoping to prove Lawler's Law wrong tonight. Santi Aldama puts it up and in.
He has been pretty quiet offensively all night, but 2 big buckets here down the stretch so far.
7 of his 9 coming in the fourth quarter. Weatherspoon gets the switch for the tie. In and out. Oh, so close.
Well,
it's
not over if Memphis scores here, but it'll make it very difficult for the C-Dubs to pull this one out.
Caver into the corner for Hearn for 3. Ooh, man. Reggie Hearn, a monster triple, and the Hustle lead by 6.
And that was a tough shot because he did not bring the ball down. He just kept it up high and flicked the wrist.
He's really good at keeping the ball high and shooting like that. I've seen him make many a 3 just like that. Only one man has hit more 3s in G League history. That's Andre Ingram. Coming into this game, Reggie Hearn had hit, what was it, 655 3s in his G League career. He's now hit 658. 16th all-time in points at 33.75. 5th all-time in minutes at 84.43. This is a G League legend. Need a 3, Drew?
Not necessarily, but probably. You can get a good one, take it.
They can't get a good one. Memphis gets the steal.
And it is not looking good, and you have to foul. And that's Mawugbe's 6 at this point. No big deal, really, but this is looking like a disappointing result.
Two free throws here in the final 2 minutes, and again, one that Santa Cruz desperately needed. Coming into today, they were just a game out of the final playoff spot. figured they needed to go at least 8 or at least 7-3. Austin won today, so that gets Austin to 10-9, and Birmingham currently in 6th at 10-10. Birmingham has the tiebreaker with Santa Cruz. 3-possession game now. It is going to be very difficult for Santa Cruz to get back into this. Second free throw good. Reset timeout used by Seth Cooper. Also ahead of Santa Cruz out of playoff position. Oklahoma City 12-13, Stockton 10-11, Texas 10-11.
Need a 3.
Robinson defended well. No need to foul here. C-Dubs gave it a good run tonight, but it wasn't enough. And Memphis walks out as Surf City with a road split. That'll do it. Big credit to the guy with the basketball right now, Shaq Buchanan. He was fantastic tonight. 27 points in a Memphis Hustle win. 107-99 over the Santa Cruz Warriors. And with this result, Memphis improves to 8-15 and Santa Cruz drops to 10-13. Tied for 10th with the Sioux Falls Skyforce. And now a game and a half back of the final playoff spot. Frankie Ferrari will join Arzina Keita shortly. They make their way through the handshake line. Good resolve from Memphis down the stretch. So Frankie